I'm Alex from HD Labels, and this is the full demonstration of the OKI Pro 1050 colour label printer. So the OKI Pro comes in two versions. You have the 1040 and the 1050. The 1040 is a 4-colour CMYK printer, whereas the 1050 is a 5-colour CMYK plus white. It's a LED toner-based printer, so there's no ink involved in the whole process. The key advantages of this is that it's very durable, so say no smudging. You've got UV, chemical and water resistance, so there isn't really a need for a laminate. You can add a laminate still if it's just the finish that you're looking to change, but it's not really necessary for the durability. And the other difference is the materials that can go through the machine. With an inkjet printer, the materials need to have an inkjet receptive coating on top. With an LED toner printer, it's laying down the toner on top of the material, so there is no receptor needed. So the materials are much more widely available and they're cheaper. So another advantage with a clear material is that with an inkjet printer, the clear material has to have that receptor. So it isn't actually really clear. It's slightly frosted, maybe with a blue tinge. But because you don't need that receptor, the clear material you print on a toner-based printer is actually clear. And because we can print white on the 1050, you can take that clear material, you can have your product show through, but you can also print white behind colours to sort of lift them out, make them pop a bit, but also maybe behind barcodes and important information that needs to be scannable. It can't have a clear base. So you can have a mixture of clear and white on the same material. So let's have a look at the machine itself. So it comes with a built-in screen. It's actually in power save mode. After a few seconds of just being sat idle, it goes into power save mode. You've got your input here. Underneath here are your 5 toners. So yellow, magenta, cyan, black and white on this particular model. We actually, if we're not printing with white, at the current state, we've actually got the white cartridge or the white toner lifted up. So by just literally flipping this here, it raises the white enough so it's not engaged. So the printer will actually run without using the white and therefore save you the white toner. So if you don't need to print white, there's no point using it. We've got our 5 LED heads at the top here, and then below this we have a transfer belt. So the toner is printed onto the transfer belt and then it's only applied to the label in one pass. And then right at the end of the printer, you have your fuser, which effectively fuses the toner to the label, and that then gives you your print. There is a lot of heat adjustment on this machine, so with certain materials you can't have it too hot, you will effectively melt the material, maybe a very thin plastic. But yeah, you can adjust the heat temperature to suit the material and get the best kind of adhesion of the toner to the label as possible. Right, so let's look at loading some material into the OKI Pro. So all the blue latches on this machine, or buttons or knobs or whatever they are basically all the parts that are adjustable. So maybe they're a switch or a flag or a latch or something like that. So this here is your dancer arm. We need it to lift up, and this latch pops open the top, allowing us to get access into the front of the printer. So there is another lever lifting the roller, and then we have this knob on the end and this latch to remove the guide. So if we take our roll of material, we push that right to the back guide. These are all fixed through the process, so it's really just a case of putting the material on and away you go. There is a slight notch in the guide here, so it's just a case of lining that up. It won't go on if it's not in the right position, and then clamping it down. You can then tighten this up just to grip the material, and then we come under the dancer arm and we feed under the roller we lifted into the front of the printer, place the roller down, put our dancer arm down, close the top. So the printer comes to life, it's acknowledged that we've got material fed, and it's pretty much ready to go. Right, so this is what we're looking to print. The OKI Pro comes with a Windows driver, but no software, so you can print from any graphics package you wish. So I'm using Illustrator here, so if I go File and Print, you'll see that our image does not fit the page. So we've got the right printer selected, but what we need to do is choose the right page setup or the page size. So if we go into Setup, we'll choose User Defined and we will add a new design. So this page size is 130 wide because that's our max width, and I think it's 211 long. So if that's the name of the page, so then I need to tell it it's 211 by 130 wide. So we're using continuous material, but it's actually glossy label, a glossy paper we're using. I don't quite know how heavy it's going to be, so how much heat we need, so I'm just going to choose medium for now. It's better to start low and work your way up rather than set it to high, melt the material into the machine and then cause yourself all kind of problems cleaning that out. So now I've got my settings selected. If we were using a die cut label, we would choose a gap here and then specify our margins as well. But as we're not, we can just use continuous. So if I add, that's come into our list. I then close this, and then you'll see our format is selected. You can see our options are here. If we were using white, we may choose in our spot color. So the white itself is a spot color, so you just choose application specific, but as we're not doing that, we can just say okay. I hit print here, and then if I choose done and then go Control P or file print again, you'll see that our image, now it's the right size, actually looks correct on the screen. So if we ask for 3 designs or 3 prints to start with, hit print, and away we go. So the printer's warming up. So as it's, say, got a fuser and so on, it's now adjusting the temperature. You can see all of the toners on the front screen. Our cyan is low, and our white has actually got a sort of dotted line around the outside. That's because it's not engaged, so it isn't using it. We aren't printing white currently. So in it goes. It actually cuts the material here, and then out they come. There's our labels. Dry to start with, so there's no liquid involved. The material is slightly warm, say where it's been through the fuser, but if we had a rewinder on the end, we could then link the rewinder up and away we go. But yeah, these look good. It's just a case now of printing however many as we want. So for more information on the OKI Pro range, samples or a personal demonstration, please get in touch with the team at HD Labels. Thanks for watching.